Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Greg Young. I'm coming to you live one more time from Davenport, Florida this morning. And this morning in my morning life wake-ups, I want to talk about becoming the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. So, and the reason why I chose this topic is because a lot of people, they want to accomplish a whole lot in life, and they want to be the greatest at whatever they chose to do in life. But a lot of people, they don't have that willpower, they don't have that self-esteem, they don't have that push, and they don't educate themselves with the knowledge that they need in order to be able to do those particular things. So the reason why I'm saying this morning in my morning life wake up is become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life, is that when you set out in life to accomplish something, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter what it is, at some point in time in your life, you should realize that, hey, I got to become the greatest at it if I want to be the greatest, and if I don't want to have, because the thing is, when you become the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life, then you cut out the competition. There is no competition, because you know at that point in time that you're doing all you can to become the greatest at whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life. So at that point in time, now you strive as hard as you possibly can to get there, because you want to be the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life. And the only way you're going to become the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life, it requires some things. And the number one thing that it requires to become the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life is consistency. You have to have consistency within what you're doing if you want to be great at something you're doing. Because without no consistency, there is no greatness. And what I mean by that, if you're not working hard to achieve whatever you set out to accomplish in life, and you're not working hard to become the greatest at it, you're not going to be the greatest. But it requires a lot of consistency. And that means on a daily basis, you got to have consistency within yourself in wanting to be the greatest in whatever you strive to do in life, and whatever it is. I don't know what you want to be great at. I don't know what your passion is. I don't know what your purpose is in life. Only a particular thing. But this is what I'm saying to you. You want to always become the greatest at it. Because if you become the greatest at it, then now you have no competition. Now there's nobody that can say that they're better at it than what you are, because you became the greatest. You put in the hard work. You did what you had to do. You had the consistency within what you were doing, and you had enough consistency in what you were doing in order to become the greatest. And then another thing that it takes within becoming the greatest in whatever you strive to do in life is you have to have your you have to have your drive. You have to have the drive to want to do it. You have to have the drive and the willpower to want to get up and perform every day to do what you do in order to adopt that consistency. Because without the drive to get up and push yourself to do it, you're not going to have that consistency within doing it. So you have to be able to go that extra mile. Like a lot of times when you're not feeling like pushing that extra mile, or pushing, that extra link in that chain, to stretch that chain so it can become better for you. You have to push yourself to strive for greatness. And in order for you to push yourself to strive for greatness is that you have to have consistency. You have to be dedicated to what you're doing, and you have to want it. The main thing in succeeding in anything in life, that if you want it bad enough, you can succeed in it. You can adapt your mind to the point to where you're able to succeed in life at whatever you set out to do if you get it here. Because once you get it inside your mind, then you can achieve it. because I say this all the time. I said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And that holds true in anything that you do in life. If you want to become the greatest in whatever you chose to do in life, you got to be able to conceive it in your mind. You got to be able to believe it, receive it, and then achieve it. But in order for you to do those things, you have to have the thinking pattern process of thinking with your subconscious mind and not with your conscious mind. Because if you think with your conscious mind, then your conscious mind is going to tell you, well, you know what, Greg, you ain't going to never be the greatest at this. Nobody's ever done this before, and you can't do it. You cannot allow thinking of your conscious mind to overpower your subconscious mind to where you believe in yourself, and you're able to manifest things forward and using a picture of visualization inside of your head to create this virtual reality inside of your head that this has already happened, that it is already a reality in your life because you have strived hard for it and you believe it, even though it's not it's physical reality and it's not really hadn't really came to pass, but you have used in visualization to create a virtual reality inside of your head. And once you have used in visualization to create a virtual reality inside of your head, now that becomes you, and now you want to become that person that you have created on the inside of your head. And the only way you can become that person that you have created within visualization on the inside of your head is that you've got to strive hard to become that person. And the only way you can become that person is within your consistency, within what you're striving to do, within what you're trying to do, within what you're trying to accomplish. And the main thing that you cannot allow is someone to tell you that you cannot be great at something that you want to become great at. Because in the minute that you allow them to tell you that you cannot be great at something you want to become the greatest at, then now you start to believe what they say, you lose your confidence, and then you give up and you don't continue trying. And that right there in itself is accepting defeat, is telling yourself that you cannot do this particular thing, whatever it is you've set out to do. So you've got to have that confidence within yourself to know that no matter what nobody says, or no matter how somebody feels about you, or what someone's opinion is of you, that no matter what, you're going to keep striving on and you're going to keep pushing on to become the greatest at whatever you set out to do, because that's what your passion is. That's what you want to fulfill in your life. And in order for you to fulfill it, then you got to live out your true passion in it. You got to give it your all. You got to give it 100%. You can't allow other person's opinions to define your destination when you want to become great at something. Because everybody in this world is opinionated. And if you allow people's opinion to distract you from becoming the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life, then now you might as well abort their lifestyle. Because if their lifestyle is no better than what your lifestyle is, and you want to become the greatest at whatever you strive to do in life, then you got to hang around people that have what you want. If you want to become the greatest, say for instance, you want to become the greatest athlete, then you got to learn from people that are already great athletes, depending on what you chose to do. I mean, if you chose football, and depending on what you want to be, a quarterback, a wide receiver, a tailback, or whatever you want to be, you got to model yourself around those people that have had great success in the field in the NFL. You have to model yourself from those people, the great ones that did it, the ones that did it, like the great ones, like Lynn Swann. He was one of the greatest wide receivers of all times in the National Football League. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and there's quite a few more. Good morning, Liesl. Thanks for stopping by. But you have to realize if you want to become the greatest at whatever you like, is that you have to be the one to achieve that. And it revolves around you and how bad do you want to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. And never tell yourself that you cannot become great at something when you've never tried, when you've never given it a shot, when you've never said, well, hey, you know what? I'm going to become the greatest at this, and I'm going to strive as hard as I possibly can in order to achieve this. And once you set that in your mind up here, in your subconscious mind, in your thinking pattern process, and you change your thinking pattern process from your conscious mind, the one that tells you that you cannot achieve this, the one that puts limitations on what you can and cannot do, you got to break those limitations from yourself. Because as long as you limit yourself, you'll never be great at whatever you chose to be great at. And that's a fact. The great ones have no limitations. And that's just a known fact. Everybody that is one of the greatest people of all times have no limitations. Just like you take the late great Kobe Bryant. Now, this man was a man that basketball was his heart. Basketball was his game. And he wanted to become the greatest of all times. But how did he become the greatest of all times? Number one, he adapted the mindset that no matter what it took, he was going to be the greatest. And it did not matter what people thought about him. It did not matter how much people called him a ball hog. It did not matter about people's opinion. All he did was he went and he strived for greatness. And he got it. God rest his soul. He was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. And there's not another man that was more deserving than to be in there. But the same thing in your lifestyle, you have to adopt that same attitude. If you want to be the greatest in whatever you're striving to do, don't allow certain things to hold you back. Don't allow people telling you what you can and cannot do hold you back. Don't allow people's opinion of how they feel about you hold you back. Don't allow the gossip that you hear people say about you hold you back. Me, personally, when somebody tells me I can't do something or I can't achieve something, it just adds fuel to the fire. It's just like putting another log in the fireplace, because that just gives me more of a drive to want to succeed, to want to become the greatest at whatever I strive to do, because I want to be able to prove them wrong. When somebody tells me that I cannot do something, that's a challenge to me, because what I want to do, I want to prove them wrong. I want to show them that I can do this and I will do this and I will succeed. It's just like the past couple of days I was sick, but I told myself, I said, Greg, man, you're not going to lay here and you're not going to be sick. You have things to do. You got to get up. You got to get yourself better. You got to do what you want to do, what you have to do. And I kept striving and I kept striving and I kept trying and I didn't give up. So now I'm feeling better. So now I'm back able to be on my platform speaking. But for the past 2 days, I was sick. I was sick all day Saturday. I was sick all day Monday. But I knew, me being that man that I was, and I was striving for greatness and I was on a mission to accomplish something, I knew that I wasn't going to allow that cold to hold me back to where it was going to get the best of me and it was going to have me down all week. I refused to do that. So I started doing what I needed to do. I started improving my immune system. I started taking immunity shots and immunity gummies and tamarack and black seed oil and all those things that will get my body back to normal. And I'm not 100% now, but it just goes to show you that I'm hungry, and I want to be able to let people know that when you want to become the greatest at something that you're striving to do, no matter what the obstacles are in your way, you can always overcome them. But the thing is, you overcome them within your dedication that you make to yourself. If you make a dedication to yourself that no matter what you go through in life, no matter what you have to deal with, no matter what you have to endure in life, you're not going to allow that to stop you from becoming the greatest at whatever you set out to do in life, then you will become the greatest. Because you will work hard, you will practice, you will have consistency in what you're doing, and you won't give up. The main thing, if you want to become the greatest in whatever you're doing in life, don't give up. Don't accept defeat. Don't tell yourself that you cannot do something when you've never really tried. You know, there's a difference in trying to do something and you go try to do it and you do it and it doesn't work out and you give up and you never go back and try again. See, the thing that we have to realize in this world, in order for you to strive, in order for you to achieve greatness in life and become the greatness at whatever you chose to do in life, it's a process. You're not just going to become great at something overnight. You're a work in process. So you have to realize that you're a work in process, and you have to dedicate yourself to that work that it takes in order to process that greatness that you're looking for that's already on the inside of you. You just have to find a way to manifest it out and bring it forward. And the only way you can achieve greatness is you got to believe greatness. I'll say that again. The only way you can achieve greatness is you got to believe greatness. If you don't believe greatness, you cannot achieve greatness. And what I mean by that, up here, before you become the greatest at whatever you want to be in life, you got to believe greatness up here. Just like I said, the late, great Kobe Bryant, he believed in his mind that he was the greatest of all times on the basketball court. He believed that up here, and he received it up here, and he achieved it up here before it came out in the physical realm. Everything that the late, great Kobe Bryant accomplished on the basketball court was because of his consistency, his dedication, his willpower, and his thinking pattern process. Had he not changed his thinking pattern process, he never would have became one of the greatest basketball players of all times. He never would have became that. But he became that because he believed that. You know, and just like so forth and so on. All the other great basketball players, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. But he believed it up here. And then he went out and achieved it. That's how we become the greatest of all times in whatever we want to do in life. That's how we become the greatest of whatever we chose to do in life. Because we know that we're good at it. See, the thing is, when we're good at something, we know it. And then that just makes us want to work harder to become great. But we have to realize that when we set out to do certain things in life, to accomplish certain things in life, there are boundaries, there are obstacles, there are ups and downs. There are things that's going to hold you back. There are things that's going to try to hold you back. There are things that's going to try to stop you. But you have to have that consistency within yourself, no matter what it is, no matter what you're going through. You have to believe above and beyond what you could ask or think for or imagine. So if you want to become the greatest if you want to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life, I suggest that you get it here in your head, create a picture of visualization of a virtual reality inside of your head. Once you allow yourself to create that picture of a virtual reality inside your head, now you can manifest it forward. But you cannot manifest it forward if you cannot believe it, if you cannot receive it, then you cannot achieve it. So that's the bottom line. But in order for you to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life, it's all in here. If you get this, you achieve greatness. If you believe that the mind is what allows you to achieve greatness, you will achieve greatness. You will become the greatest of all times at whatever you chose to do. You will become the best singer, the best actor, the best business person, so forth and so on. But the number one thing that you have to realize is that you got to get it in here. 99.9% of everything that somebody sets out to achieve in life is all mindset. It's all mindset. And I guarantee you that you'll realize that once you set your mind on becoming the greatest of whatever you chose to do in life, because you have to look at it like this. If you want to be good at something, you got to practice, right? Because they say what? What does the saying says? Practice makes perfect. That's a known fact. The more you practice something, the better you get at it. If you want to be great at something, you practice it, and then you become better, and then you become great at it. But you cannot become the greatest at doing something if you don't practice. And like I said, you got to have consistency. You got to have dedication. You got to have the willpower. You know, you got to have all those things got to be balled into one. One thing. All those things has to create one thing inside of your head, and that brings on the success to where you become the greatest at whatever you chose to do. But you have to get this. And this is why I'm going to say this, and I really want you to get this. It's all up to you. You have to become that action taker and that decision maker and become dedicated to what you're doing so you can achieve greatness, so you can be the greatness at whatever you chose to be in life or chose to do in life. But you cannot achieve greatness if you're not ready to receive greatness. I say that again. You cannot achieve greatness if you're not ready to receive greatness. So how do you get ready to receive greatness? Practice. Each and every day, practice on getting better at whatever it is you want to be great at. If you want to be a great singer, practice on singing every day. You want to be a great athlete, practice on being that great athlete in whatever sport you chose, whether it's basketball, football, hockey, tennis, soccer, whichever one you chose, practice every day, and I guarantee you'll get great at it. If you want to become a great speaker, practice every day, and I guarantee you'll get great at it. If you want to become a great businessman, do business every day with honesty, respect, and integrity, and you will become the greatest businessman of all times in whatever you chose to do. But you just have to realize, and this is why I'm saying to you in my morning life wake-ups this morning, is becoming the greatest of whatever you chose to do in life is a process. It's a task. It's not something that's going to come overnight. But if you're striving for greatness, don't give up. You know, just like look at the late Martin Luther King. He had a dream that all people be treated equal. He had a dream. And you know what? His dream cost him his life. But you know what? He became one of the greatest of all times that made a speech that holds to this day. We hold these truths to be self-evidence that all men were created equal, and they should not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That was his dream. He wanted to be the greatest of all times as a civil rights leader. And what is he today? God rest his soul. He became one of the greatest of all times as a civil rights leader, even though it came with a price, which was his life. But he was willing to sacrifice so we could be created equal on this earth and could be treated equal. He fought for that. Now, don't get me wrong. He fought for that, and he fought hard for that. And God rest his soul, he did create some change within the civil rights movement. Yes, he did. And he was one of the greatest of all times civil rights leader. But he created change, but now it's up to us to keep that change going. It's up to us to live by his words. And it's up to us to do what it takes to become the greatest at whatever we chose to do in life. Because you can be whoever you want to be. All you got to do is just have confidence in yourself, consistency in yourself, belief in yourself, respect, honesty, and integrity for yourself, and you will become the greatest of all times at whatever you chose to do. But that choice is yours. You have to do that. I can't do that for you. I know what I want to become the greatest at, and I'm going to become the greatest at it. I want to become the greatest at being able to impact people's lives, to make a difference in people's lives, to change people's thinking pattern process, to let them know that you can be whatever you want to be in life. Whatever you chose to do in life, you can do that. But it all starts here. And if I can get people to transform their mind in their thinking pattern process one day at a time, I can create change in the world. I'm not going to stop until I reach that point, because I've set my mind on being able to speak to people to where they can understand where I'm coming from, and they can understand that everything that I'm saying is to help them and not to hurt them. Because people have been hurt so much in life throughout different things in life that they went through. They went through bad relationships. They went through bad business deals. They worked for the wrong people. They did certain things. Certain things have happened in their life at some point in time to where they were hurt. So now I want to take all the hurt out of the equation and bring back happiness. But the only way I can take all hurt out of the equation and bring back happiness is encouraging you to do better, is encouraging you to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. Because your future and your life is in your hand. So this is my question to you. Are you going to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life? Or are you just going to accept whatever life throws at you? Ask yourself that question. And if you're at that point in time in your life right now to where you need that question answered, and you don't have the answer to that question, then I suggest you do inventory on your life. And when you do inventory on your life, find out what's going on in your life right now that you're doing to encourage somebody else to be great, to encourage somebody else to make that choice to become the greatest at whatever they chose to do in life. And if you're not encouraging someone to do great or be great or become great in life or strive to be the best at whatever they're doing in life, then I suggest you start encouraging them. Because here's why I say that. If you start encouraging them to do better, now it keeps yourself encouraged to do better. You know, because like I say, when I come on here in the morning time and I do these morning life wake-ups, I'm not only speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself mostly. Because I know that times happen and things happen in my life that hold me back, the setbacks and discouragements. You know, because like I said, the past couple of days when I was sick, I felt so bad, my whole body was aching. But I wanted to do something so bad, you know. But my wife told me, she said, you're not going to get better if you don't rest. But you know, that was one of the hardest things for me to do. When you're an active person and you get shut down to where you can't do nothing, that's a hard feeling. But I did not let that situation define who I was. I didn't wallow in my misery. This is what I did. I said, I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I gotta take. I don't care what I need to do. But I refuse to be sick today. I am getting back to myself. I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm stepping back up to encourage my people to live a better life, to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. And don't let obstacles hold you back, because they're going to come. But you just got to be bigger than the obstacle. You know, just like the word said, there's no problem that you cannot face, that you cannot get through with God on your side. And that's a true fact. So this morning, thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning life wake up. And just remember, I challenge you this week to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. And I don't know what it is. Only you know. But this morning, I got a call to action, which is powered by Zence. And it is my new product called Skin Tech. And it is, it cleans, moisturizes, and protects. It keeps you protected for up to 4 hours from bacteria, viruses, and all those good things, all those bad things that keep you down and keeps you sick. So I suggest ZenceMakesSense.com. It keeps you protected up to 4 hours from bacteria, viruses, and harmful chemicals. So what do you have to lose? ZenceMakesSense.com. Order your Skin Tech today. And I just want to say thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning life wake-ups this morning. It is truly an inspiration to me to have people and to know that I have people across the world that I'm making a difference in their life. And that makes a difference to me. That makes me feel good. You know, that makes me know that I'm making a difference in other people's lives. And as long as I know that I'm making a difference in other people's lives, that keeps me smiling. Good morning, Mama. How you doing this morning? No, that's not Mama. Okay, who is that? Hold on 1 second here. Yes, it is. Good morning, Mama. How you doing this morning? I couldn't see you at first. I'm feeling better. Back at it. So, but like I say, you have to realize in your life how to become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life, because the choice is yours. And it's up to you to make that decision. So with that being said, thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my Morning Life Wake Ups. And God bless you all and have a blessed day. And whatever you do, I challenge you, become the greatest at whatever you chose to do in life. Because I want to let you know that God loves you and so do I. And if you're going out to work this morning, work safe. If you're driving on the highway, drive safe. And whatever you chose to do, be the greatest at it. And that's how you live the good life. So God bless you all. Have a blessed day and goodbye.